I was living a very fake life, a very superficial life. I am touching people, but that was all at surface level. Because deep inside, I was broken. It was all fake. I am not able to bear with my children's presence at home. And I'm being very frank about it. It was difficult for me to bear with husband after a few days. I wanted everybody to leave, and even I wanted to step out. But that was not happening. Because in a typical city like Delhi, there is no way that you can connect to nature or you can lead a life which leads you to happiness or bliss. Today I grow my own food, I cook my own food. If you combine discipline, nature and knowledge, these three together is like a short formula to blissful life. Body is the first element and then is the mind. So today I lead a medicine-free, stress-free, disease-free, disorder-free life.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Holistic Happiness Club, the space where we explore what it truly means to live a fulfilling life. Not just through success and achievement, but through inner peace, emotional well being, meaningful relationships, mindfulness, purpose, and conscious living. The alignment between your inner peace, inner world, and outer success as well. I'm your host, Akshay Tiwari, and in every episode, we dive into conversations that help you grow, not just externally, but internally too. Let's begin. Hello, good morning, Meenakshi. Welcome to Holistic Happiness Club. And thank you so much that you have taken time out to come here to join us on one of the episode on Holistic Happiness Club. So welcome again. And we'll have a talk. I'm eager to talk to you about your lifestyle, the way you have changed so many things. But yeah, over to you.
Sure, Akshay. I'm also very pleased to be here talking to you on your Holistic Happiness Club. So I look at my life pre-20 and post-20. So till 2020, I lived a city life where I worked. I opened my own consultancy in 2016, and I was working as a coach and a facilitator for various organizations, IT, non-IT, and everything was going great until 2020 hit. So the year 2020 hit, lockdown came, and I started feeling restless, being confined to home, watching children study. It was almost like an eye opener. As if somebody has woken you up from your slumber. ऐसा लगा कि suddenly you get up. What happens? Firstly, there is a lot of denial. Firstly, you don't want to wake up because that sleep is so comforting that you don't want to be waking up. But somebody jolted you up and you got up. Then what do? You try to find out where you are and what's happening around you. And that's exactly what was happening. I was looking for a solution that why has my life come to a halt? I am restricted to home. My children are restricted to home. Watching them study was so disheartening. The institutions that we have in the name of education were just not doing their job. How much would online classes were doing justice? Even for me, when I was doing online sessions, they were not effective. And I wanted to raise it that, okay, this is not good enough. It's all going in a very fake direction. And that is when my teacher appeared in my life as a guiding light, ray of hope for me. So I read about him. I went and met him. And the only solution that I felt was to leave, physically change, shift cities. Because in a typical city like Delhi, there is no way that you can connect to nature or you can lead a life which leads you to happiness or bliss. So we decided to shift as a family of four. We decided to shift, of course, all thanks to my husband who agreed. We shifted from Delhi and we came to Ludhiana in the year 2021. So 2020 lockdown hit. 2021, we came here. We started connecting with nature. We started disciplining our body and reading knowledge, the real knowledge from our scriptures, what our Sanatan Rishis have written, what farmland, and started growing our food. So from non-cooking, I came to cooking my food, and then I came down to growing my own food. Today, I grow my own food. I cook my own food. And if you combine discipline, nature, and knowledge, These three together is like a short formula to blissful life. So today, I lead a medicine free, stress free, disease free, disorder free life. Totally natural lifestyle. So from top to bottom, no coloring, as you can see, no chemicals in the name of any of the products. Nothing comes home. Right from food to whatever we apply, everything is organic and authentic. So that's what it is.
Thank you so much. The life that you are living, it's kind of a dream for many of us, and for many it will be like, why are you living this way? Because so many beautiful cities are available, and for many they will be clueless that this kind of life also exists by choice if you are not forced to live this life. So, what was the trigger point? I mean, you have explained that it was COVID and you were locked down. So, how did this idea came to your head that no, there has to be an alternative that is not here in this concrete jungle, so I'll have to move somewhere else. So, how did that came to your mind?
Sure. Very good question, Akshay. 2020 was a lockdown. However, if I look at my life, I go back further,
Mhm.
retrospect, if I have to retrospect, there were many moments where I felt that I didn't feel well placed. Though I did very well professionally. I
Mhm.
mean, anybody in the world would call me a fool to be leaving that life and coming here because the way I was established till 2020. Every way, whether it was family or whatever. But there were a lot
Gui-
of moments in which I felt that
Guide us a little bit that what kind of life you were living before 2020, because I know that you had a very successful professional corporate career. So guide us a little bit, just throw a light a little bit on that, how it was, what all companies you have worked, what all names, whatever you can share, so that audience gets an idea that what kind of life you were living there.
so if I look at my profile starting 2003 when I started working, in fact, I started working in 2002 as an RJ with All India Radio. So I became an RJ when RJ was not even a term. At that time, we used to be called presenters. There were no RJs. RJ as a term got introduced 2004 onwards.
Oh.
So 2002, I started my career as a presenter with All India Radio.
Mhm.
So I was doing well over there. By then, I had finished my graduation and I got a call from an institute called Air Hostess Academy if I could come over there and train the budding hospitality industry professionals. So I started doing that. I started training them and I spent about 2 years there. And thereafter, my grooming in the professional training industry started. I joined Fujitsu, that is an IT company, in 2007, went on joining Tech Mahindra in 2010, worked with Tech Mahindra till about 2016 and then I opened my own organization. So when I did a count, when I had to work on my profile in the year 2016 for my own consultancy, I was shocked to see that by that time I had trained about 5 lakh people.
Yeah.
So I had trained about 5 lakh people. And by 2020, I had trained almost 12 lakh people.
Awesome.
And my coaching hours. So how we work is in terms of training, we look at participants. In terms of coaching, we look at hours.
Yeah.
And I had finished about 2,000 coaching hours by 2021,
Awesome.
which is a very big thing. And I was on panel with a lot of organizations, for example, Pragati and Holistic, and so many companies I was on panel with.
Yeah.
It was all going great. Professionally, there was nothing that could stop me. Professionally, I was very well placed. Work, in fact, not only the organizations, I had also got into academia. There was a gentleman that I worked with while I was in Jindal, and he saw the profile and the way I was training. So he got me into academia. So I've actually trained people in Ashok University and IMT Ghaziabad and the National Railways in Vadodara. So these are the three institutions I was in panel with. I was visiting professor over there. Again, my areas were presentation, communication, leadership. So these are the areas I was training people in till 2021. So when we had decided, it was definitely a very big shock for everyone. Why would somebody who's already placed in corporates and academia so well, why would somebody like this would ever leave such lucrative jobs and move into a simple, basic lifestyle? But I just didn't seem to fit in most of the times. And 2020 did hit me badly. Why it hit me was because suddenly I think everything unfolded. Till 2020, I was still okay. Why? Because I would get up, I would pick up my bag and leave for work. My husband would get up, pick up his bag and leave for work. My children would get up, get ready, go to school. So if you see, I was not coming in terms with reality.
Mhm.
My real life started the way four of us were together under one roof for 1 month.
Mm.
And that's what changed everything. I was finding it difficult to bear with my own children. And the first thought that came, that me being a mother, all my life I felt I'm an excellent mother.
Mhm.
Everybody around me felt I was an excellent mother, doing so much of hard work for my children. I suddenly felt it was all fake. I am not able to bear with my children's presence at home. And I'm being very frank about it. It was difficult for me to bear with husband after a few days. I wanted everybody to leave, and even I wanted to step out. But that was not happening. That was not a choice. And it all got me thinking that then what have I done even at a basic level, motherhood is something which is the closest to me. And then comes my professional life. If I'm not able to live and lead by basic roles as a woman of the house, what difference you think I am going to make to others? So I felt I was living a very fake life, a very superficial life. I am touching people, but that was all at surface level. Because deep inside, I was broken.
Mm.
I was not liking anything during that time that was happening to me, whether it was my family, children, and husband, whether it was my professional life doing online sessions. They were extremely frustrating for me to be doing online sessions. So you'll have screen and you'll have those small windows in which people were there. And I would just continue. At times I would feel if the audience is still alive. Are they even there? So again, very fake. And that was the only way. All the consultancies, the entire institutions, colleges I was working with, they all said we will be working on the same model till 2022. They had the contract signed and they said till 2022. And actually nothing changed till March 2022.
Okay.
Whatever contracts I had signed, I had to continue.
Of course.
So till March 2022, I was only doing online sessions with all academia and corporates because of the contracts which were signed. I anyhow finished them till 2022 while I was in Ludhiana also.
Okay.
So what happened was my search started for a simpler life. What I felt was that I have only been involved in the complex area so far. What is that complex area? The mind is the complex area.
Mhm.
My body was not helping me out. And by then, I had also developed the lifestyle disease. I had already got the thyroid.
Mhm.
And now you might say, what would a pill do? That's what most of the people told me. What would a pill do to you? Have you gone crazy? Just because your COVID came doesn't mean you're going to shift towns.
Mhm.
So the responses I still remember that have you gone crazy? Just because there was a shutdown and a lockdown for a few months, you're ready to shift city? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? You're leaving a place, a metropolitan like Delhi, and moving to Ludhiana, which is way, way behind. What is going to be the future of your children?
Yeah.
And they all knew that now I'm planning to unschool my children. So that's exactly what we did. The reason why we waited till March 2021 to shift was so that our children finish their exams of that year.
Yeah.
So our children's exams got over March 2021. We shifted here. The first thing that I did was to withdraw them from the school. Thereafter, no schooling. No matter what happens, no schooling. I stopped my medicines. I stopped looking at my reports because I knew the only way to work on your body was simplify your lifestyle. So when you talk about simplifying lifestyle, there are only three things: food, clothing, shelter. I had to change my food. I had to change my clothing. I had to change my shelter. So I changed my food to organic food. I changed my clothing to organic cotton clothing. I changed my shelter to a more natural place.
Okay.
So we live in a very natural place today, surrounded by nature.
Mm.
So these three things helped me. First thing that these three things helped me was to overcome thyroid.
Okay. Awesome.
And with children, of course, initially it was difficult to have children at home who were not even studying, and there were voices from all over. So while my family let me go, let me shift, somewhere they did not. And they felt, everybody in city felt, okay, so it's all a bubble and that bubble will burst. And that's exactly what I told myself as well. So I was also not too confident about how things will work out for us. So I told my children and my husband that I need 1 year of our life. If in 1 year things don't work out, I promise we will get back to where we were. So we touched nothing for the first 1 year. We did not touch our house. We let the house be everything the way it was. so that after 1 year, if we want to make a comeback, we'll come back and resume where we stopped. But it's been 5.5 years and we don't want to even think of going back. My children are more than happy. Now when they visit once in a year, let's say if we get to go to our relatives, they start crying in a day's time, they begin to cry because they both are now living a Vedic lifestyle in nature. They go to Gurukul. They are learning the scriptural knowledge. They are learning to work on the body, how to make disease-free, disorder-free body, and what to eat, how to keep your body in your control, how to control your posture, behavior, action, words. And at the same time, they're working on other areas like speech, sonic, then so many other subjects that even my daughter is doing right now.
Okay, before I go to my next question, a question which came to my mind is you told that you got thyroid, and when you simplified your life, then it got reversed. How long did it take at that time by simplifying your life? And how did you got to know? Because you said that you stopped looking at your reports. So how did you get to know? You got to know by feeling, or you actually did a blood work done?
So over a period of time, Akshay, what has happened is people have lost their senses.
Mm-hmm.
Senses to an extent that they need help how to run a family. They need help on how to have a good relationship with the spouse, how to deal with children. So they need help in the form of psychologists, counselor, coaches for everything, even what career they should choose. And the simplest of all, what should go inside their mouth? I mean, just imagine what a silly thing. On an average, a person studies for 22 years. He hires another being from outside to tell him what to eat.
Right.
Then
How much to eat?
how nonsensical is that education? How fake it is. If education cannot tell you what to eat, then that education is fake.
Right.
What it is doing is, it is not helping you align with your own senses. It is your own sense which tells you what is going right with the body, what is not going right with the body. So when I was consuming that pill from 2016, I got thyroid, 2020. So 4 years I took that medicine. Everybody who took that medicine with me, there were other people, they said it's a small pill. What difference does it make?
Yeah.
But I recall I used to get up all foggy and groggy in the morning. And at a physical level, there were a lot of changes happening. For example, I used to have a stiff body. I used to have stiff shoulders. If I told that to somebody, they all said, oh, it's so normal. So if you see, the sense has depleted to that extent where diseases we have normalized diseases.
Yeah.
Why have we normalized diseases? Our body is not supposed to have diseases.
Yeah.
So if I show you my picture 5-6 years ago, you'll be shocked. I was overweight at least by 15 kgs. So I lost 15 kgs. So when it comes, the question was that how did I get to know, since I did not do any reports, how did I get to know that my thyroid was over? So when I stopped taking the medicine, next 6 months, I put on a lot of weight, which means what? My thyroid level was about going up. However, what stopped happening was my stiffness was gone. My uneasiness was gone. And I had completely stopped eating from outside and packaged food. So I was already disciplining. I had started with the disciplining. I had started eating home cooked, fresh food, organic food without any spices, without any masalas, the way it should be eaten. I had started with other practices also, for example, grounding. So walking bare feet, connecting with Mother Earth. Because if you look at our body, it has come from Mother Earth. It is made up of earth element.
Yes.
It's made of earth element. So we say Parthik Kshetra hai, earth is Parthik Kshetra. On this Parthik Kshetra, we have got Parthik Dehe, which is earthly body or earthly life, for earthly life on earth. So body is the earth element. Now, how do you correct your earth element? By aligning this earth with the earth outside.
Yeah.
So what is earth giving you? Earth is giving you food. So first you start eating the food which Mother Earth is giving you. So I stopped eating the food which factories were giving me.
Yeah.
I did not eat that. I ate what Mother Earth was giving. Mother Earth was giving me fruits, vegetables, grains. And then I was cooking it in the best possible manner so that the nutritional effect is not lost.
Sure.
So within 6 months, my uneasiness, discomfort with my own body began depleting. And after that, I started managing very well. For example, the swelling started going away because my face had a lot of swelling, body had a lot of swelling. That started going away, and slowly I started losing weight. But I started losing weight at a very organic pace. So if I say in the last 5 years, I have lost 15 kgs, you can imagine on an average, I've lost 3 kgs a year,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
which is very slow. But
It
I am
is.
not going for any gym. I am not doing any yoga. I don't do brisk walk. I don't do any exercise. I have completely transformed my lifestyle. I ensure whatever goes in from here is healthy for my body and is not going to cause any disease or disorder.
Yeah.
So I eat well. I wear easy clothes so that the energy level of my body remains good. My body is breathing because if you see, our whole body breathes.
Mm.
But when we wear something synthetic, our body does not get enough oxygen. So I ensure my body breathes. I make contact with nature. So I walk bare feet on the ground. I bow to sun morning and evening.
Mm.
I observe nature for hours in a day. And I really enjoy myself in nature.
Mm.
So the five senses got aligned and started working in that direction.
Awesome.
Yes.
So that has got me to the next question organically. I wanted to ask that how is your typical day looks like for you and for your kids because they are being schooled or not, they're being unschooled and they're studying in Gurukul, and you are living in a small town and living in a farm. How the day looks like to you guys? I mean, what do you do? Because
Oh,
that will be a curious question to many of us who are living in this concrete jungles.
okay. Yes. So that's actually a very good differentiation. Jungle and forest.
Yeah.
We live in a forest. And how our teacher has decoded forest is it is for rest. So we rest.
Okay.
So forest is for rest. So actually we live in nature's forest where we rest. So the first thing that we did was when I started living this life, the first thing that we did was stop wearing the watch. So I don't wear watch.
Good.
So I'm not driven by clock. Of course, at times you need to be driven. For example, I want to catch a train or I need to catch a flight. I have this conversation with you. So I need to go by the clock. However, I don't wear a watch. I don't go by the clock.
Yeah.
Our morning routine depends on which month are we running. So for different months, we have different discipline. There are months for which we need to get up before the sunrise.
Hmm.
There are months when we can get up during the sunrise. And if it's extreme winters for about 15 to 20 days, we'll get that easiness where it's okay for us to get up maybe after half an hour or so. So our morning routine is based on the season and the month.
That's called a
Typically, the whole house is up by 6:15. The whole house is up. Maximum 6:30, the whole house is up. So by 6:30, all everybody is up. Then we have our morning discipline to do. We have our morning ritual. We go out in the nature
Mhm.
and we do our morning ritual. That morning ritual, each one of us do separately. And it takes us about 30 to 40 minutes to do that ritual. After that, we go for grounding.
Mhm.
And because my children, they go for the Vedic education, what I usually do is I come back and start cooking.
Mm.
So then we cook, we have our food by 9:30, 10. We are also bathed by, then my children set off for their Vedic Gurukul. They both leave and they both come back by evening. During the day, I have my own routine of Adhyayan. So there are scriptures that I need to read. And I also have a lot of Gurukul work in place. So I have either recording videos or I'm reading through or I'm making my own content. So this is what I typically do. However, for us, it is very important that twice a day we do our ritual morning, evening out in the nature. We connect with nature. Our senses are aligned. So we cannot just sit in any posture.
Mhm.
Whatever we are eating as per the discipline. So you just cannot put anything in your mouth.
Mhm.
So there are fixed hours for food. There are fixed hours when we do our fruits and food, when we sit, when we relax.
Okay.
And typically by evening, we wind up everything, have our dinner together. And then if we have a lot of work, for example, if I talk about my daughter, typically she's about 18, she goes to a Gurukul. Her day starts at 6 and her day ends at 12 in the night.
Okay.
So 18 hours, she's working. She has so much to do.
Okay.
A lot of reading, a lot of creating content, etc. she does. So by 10:30, we usually sign off, and then in case anybody has work, they continue to work. But yes, our morning, evening ritual is fixed. Our food timings are fixed.
Hmm.
What we will eat is also fixed. What we are going to eat, what we are going to drink, how we sit, demeanor, action, words, inputs, everything is fixed. But at the same time, we are not clock driven people.
Of course.
We are not driven by clock.
Driven by senses.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example. So let's say when we shifted here, we were so much used to eating by certain hours.
Right.
That has taken us 2 to 3 years to dilute. Eat
Mm.
when you're hungry.
Yeah.
You don't eat just because you're in that routine.
Yeah.
And this is why we have removed clock from
Yeah.
our life so that we listen to our own body, what it needs.
Before we continue, if you have been enjoying these conversations and they have added value to your life, I would really appreciate your support. Please take a moment to subscribe, leave a rating or review, and share this episode with someone who might genuinely benefit from it. And if something in this conversation resonated with you, let me know in the comments or send your thoughts and feedback. I truly read them, and they help shape future episodes of Holistic Happiness Club. Your support helps this message reach more and more people who may need these conversations right now. Now, let's get back to the episode. I remember when I got my first job, I was in Moradabad, it's close to Delhi, brass city of India. And there was a partner of my firm, business partner, and he had a small office. He was the business owner, and he had no clock in the office. He was not wearing any watch, wristwatches also, although he was keeping a phone. Of course, you can see the time in the phone, but I noticed that there is no watch. And he had two offices. In both the offices, he had no watch. So I asked him, why don't you have a watch? So he said, मैं तब खाता हूँ जब मुझे भूख लगती है. I don't want to be driven by clock. And it's not like if I'm tired today, I will go home early, because of course he had a staff to manage the shop and the office. And if I'm hungry right now, I can eat right now. If I'm hungry 1 hour or half an hour later, I can eat later. So I don't want that synthetic thing or artificial thing to tell me that it's time to eat and it's time to go home, it's time to come back. So he said, I don't want that thing to tell me, that the thing that has no sense to tell me that it is time to eat. So yeah, that made a lot of sense to me at that time also. But of course, at that time I thought, okay, there is no alternative to that. We have to go by this, because you have to comply by certain rules that are being set by the society, that you have to get up by this, you have to be in the office by this time. So of course, for many, it might not be right now possible, but I'll come back to this question later, that what can we do? I mean, what can people in the cities who are living, who are driven by clock for most of their day, for meetings, for offices, for everything, what can they do? I mean, how can they simplify their life? I will come back to that question. But before I come back to that, I want to understand, because you have coached so many people in your life earlier as well as a corporate trainer, and even now you are coaching people, right? So I want to know the things that you are doing right now with people, and what is your experience regarding that, how this experience is going on, what your learning has been, and overall what has been the results.
Sure, sure, sure. So pre 2020,
Mhm.
Akshay, I coached basis certain education models that I studied
Right,
during my certification.
of course.
However, 2020, why was it an eye opener for me was 2020, I was not able to resolve my own problems using those models.
Mhm.
So, which means for me that went fake. So,
Okay.
let's say if I have a pill
Mm.
which is working, which I have recommended to others and it has worked for them, how come I'm not able to consume the same pill?
Okay. Yeah.
And even if I'm consuming, it's not working out, which means there's a problem with the pill.
Yeah.
So, now the problem with the pill means I need to work out a way to see what is it that I need to change about that pill, about that solution.
Hmm.
So that is when I came from mind to body. So today, let's say if I have to coach somebody, the first thing that I ask them is, how's your health? Do you take medicines? Do you have any disease? Do you have any disorder? Only and only if they are ready to let go their medicines,
Mhm.
then I would coach. Otherwise, I would leave it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Because we got to work on the body first.
Hmm.
Leave your medicines. I will tell you, I will guide you what are the do's and don'ts. And first, get rid of your medicines. First, get rid of your diseases is when you're ready for a life or coaching that I do today. And there is a step by step, but you just said that you would also want to know what people can do in the cities. Of course, there is a step by step resolution because I am a practical example to that.
Mm-hmm.
I am myself a practical example to that. In fact, my whole family, my entire family was facing medical problems.
Yeah.
And how we have overcome those issues without any medication. In one of the circumstances where a person in city would have probably got hospitalized, we were actually cured it by sitting at home using the food. Only with the food, only with the herbs, only with Ayurveda.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a step-by-step guide only if a being is open to that kind of discipline. Discipline is the key word. You cannot be living on this earth without disciplining yourself. But discipline not in terms of clock,
Mm-hmm.
that 9 o'clock breakfast, 11 o'clock water, 1 o'clock lunch. No. Discipline is not clock driven. Discipline is your own sense. It is a sense driven thing. So without discipline, now I cannot coach people who are not ready to discipline.
Of course.
My first criteria is, are you ready to discipline? Which means, are you ready to let go your medicines and diseases? If the answer is yes, we go ahead. Else we stop right there.
A follow-up question for this is, when you ask people to let go of their medicines, is it immediate that if I want to come to you as a coachee for certain things, like to simplify my life or get myself much healthier or get rid of a particular disease, do I have to leave the medicine today? Or is it a gradual process? One, if it is immediate, if it's not a gradual process, aren't there some withdrawal symptoms that people face?
Now, there are two cases I'll talk about. If I talk about my cases, mine was immediate.
Okay.
And why it worked for me is because I felt the conviction towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And leaving the medicine alone will not work. You need to change your whole lifestyle. So, number one, yes, the answer is yes. You can change your lifestyle immediately by leaving medicines immediately in one go and changing your food habits and other things. But when you leave your medicine, simultaneously, you need to change your food habits.
Right.
No medicine, the same food habits are not going to work out.
Okay. Of course.
So, if you're still consuming white sugar,
Hmm.
and you want to leave your medicine, let's say you're taking for thyroid or diabetes, it is not going to work out.
Hmm.
You leave your medicine, and the very moment you change what you put into your mouth,
Hmm.
your food habits, your platter needs to be completely changed. You need to go out, discipline yourself, connect with nature. So the word discipline is very important. If you're ready to discipline and agree to the do's and don'ts of discipline, is when you can let go your medicine. Now, in another, the second case can be where, let's say, there's a person who's suffering from 5 to 6 diseases. Then obviously we need to work on it one by one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Also understand. So these things do not go in one go, Akshay. Practically, when it is done, it is very different depending on what your lifestyle has been. For how long have you been taking medicine? For somebody
course.
who's taken medicines for 40, 50 years, obviously there's nothing called in one go.
Right. Right.
Depends what age group you belong to.
Right.
So I'll give you an example. There was a 65-year-old man that I met somewhere. So I had just gone somewhere and I was talking. So this guy came to me and he said, whatever you were speaking, I'm impressed. What exactly do you do? So I told him, I said, this is what I'm doing. He said, okay, so I have this BP problem. He's an old man, 65-year-old. And he said, I've been on this BP medicine for the last 30 years. So I was not into coaching or anything. It was just a passing by conversation. So I said, okay, why don't you do these 1, 2, 3, 4 things and let's see if it works out. So I got a call after 1 week. He said, I stopped my medicine the moment you asked me to. And I immediately brought that change. I checked my BP after 1 week. It's regular. It's normal.
Yeah.
I want to leave my diabetic medicine. Tell me what I can do. So
Yeah.
you see, it just happened and it worked out for him. But
Yeah.
you need to be very honest.
Yeah.
Because your body will give you signals. You leaving medicine, but not stopping your other bad habits of eating white sugar, junk food, then it is not going to work out.
Right.
So discipline is the key to good health.
My next question would be related to your experience. Before 2020, before COVID, you were not coaching people for simple lifestyle and healthy lifestyle, but you were coaching people, you were meeting people. So you already had a sense, at least from their behavior, from their questions, etc. Somehow you might have had the sense, and looking back to your career, you might better make sense of those learnings. My question here is, with the current experience and with your past experience, because this podcast is mostly the audience is in many cases the people who are going to office, doing a job, etc. What stops them for making a good decision of keeping their lifestyle simple, leaving sugar out, leaving processed food? What stops them? It only makes sense that your lifestyle should be simple, to me at least, and you should eat the food like Michael Pollan has said. It's a very good advice that he's a foreigner, so he has given from that perspective that eat food, not too much, mostly plants. Very simple advice and very. So I find beauty in these simplicity, whether it's in food, whether it's in lifestyle, whether it's in clothing, everywhere. So my question is that there is beauty, there is health, there is simplicity, there is so much of unclutteredness in this kind of lifestyle. What stops people from opting this lifestyle?
In simple words, लोग ढीठ है.
Okay.
लोग ढीठ हो चुके हैं, सेंसलेस हैं.
Mm-hmm.
लगता है वो they are extremely educated and well placed,
Mm-hmm.
but actually what they do not realize is the poverty of their mind.
Okay.
We all live a very impoverished lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
A good car, a lavish house,
Mm.
the real luxury is nature. When you pluck that vegetable in the morning and you bring it to your kitchen and cook it and eat it, that is luxury. Luxury is not packaged food, which was done in the factories maybe about a year or 2 years ago.
Mm.
And when you consume that food, what people do not realize, every time you eat food, it updates your gene code.
Mm.
So I'll give you an example. Right now, the wheat that I'm consuming, I harvested it last year
Mm. Of course.
in the month of April. And I'm eating that wheat right now till my this year's harvest is ready, which will be ready by this month end.
Of
So
course.
imagine how upgraded I am when it comes to gray. Now let's talk about city life. So you buy it from either you buy packaged atta or you buy it from a chakki. Either ways. You don't know how old the wheat is. The wheat might be 20 years old.
Mm.
So what when you're consuming it, imagine what you're doing to your gene level is it's going 20 years back, taking you 20 years back. So how is that a luxury? Calling and getting your food shipped at home is not luxury. Akshay. Luxury is when you have your farm, you grow your own food, you bring your own grains at home, you cook them, and you know how fresh and organic you're eating. So if you see, people have no sense. City people have no sense. City life makes you toxic. Toxic, toxic है. मैं आप ही से पूछती हूँ. In fact, I have a question to ask. Let's say if you want to plant a seed,
Mm-hmm.
what would you choose? A tile or soil?
A tile.
If you want to plant a seed, you will choose a tile surface or
Of
soil.
course, soil. Yeah.
Why?
But tile is infertile. We cannot grow there. Why it is infertile? Because it's not nature. It's the nature that has the power to grow something, make a seed into a plant or a tree. I mean, the tile doesn't have it.
So you answered the question. This is why city people are infertile. Their brains are infertile today. They do not have the capacity to think. They think that if they are in city, their possibilities are infinite. Not so. You are watching the window that the authorities want you to watch. People think they have freedom. When they go to grocery stores, they think they have freedom. I laugh at that condition
Mhm.
because there is no freedom. You're given a small grocery store and you're just shown that window and you're asked to choose whatever you want. That is not choice of freedom.
Mhm.
Freedom is when you're able to grow your own food because you have a piece of land. So now this is the difference. City makes you tired.
Hmm.
बट व्हेन यू कनेक्ट विद नेचर इट मेक्स यू फर्टाइल। एक एक जो बीज है वो सॉइल में ही उग सकता है, टाइल में नहीं उग सकता। टाइल कितनी भी महंगी हो, कितनी भी सुंदर हो, कितनी भी टिकाऊ हो, कितनी भी महंगी से महंगी वो हो, लेकिन
Of course.
बीज आपको मिट्टी में ही बोना पड़ेगा, टाइल पे नहीं आएगा।
Sure.
तो आपका कितना भी सुंदर लाविश घर हो, मगर आप रहे तो सिटी में ही रहे हैं
Yeah.
और वहां से सेंस नहीं आता। सेंस के लिए आपको अपने नंगे पैर मिट्टी में डालने पड़ेंगे, आपको अपने हाथ मिट्टी में डालने पड़ेंगे। सेंस वहां से आती है, सेंस नेचर से आती है। सिंपल एग्जाम्पल, हम कहाँ से ग्रो करें? हम नेचर से ही आए हैं ना।
Mm-hmm.
टिल नाउ साइंटिस्ट हैव नॉट बीन एबल टू कम अप विद अ मशीन जिसमें कि 9 महीने में एक बच्चा पैदा हो जाए।
Of course.
अभी जो फैक्ट्रीज की बात कर रहे हैं, वो जो भी बेबी बूम फैक्ट्रीज, एंड आई डोंट नो हाउ ट्रू दैट इज और वेदर इट्स गोना वर्क, बट टुडे द वे नेचर, this ability to be able to give life
Mm-hmm.
in 9 months
Mm-hmm.
comes from nature, because what is nature?
Yeah.
हाँ, वो अलग बात है कि हम उस नेचर को भी इतना खराब कर चुके हैं कि अब इतने कॉम्प्लिकेशंस आ रहे हैं लोगों को, ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ कॉम्प्लिकेशन। सो द आंसर इज वेरी सिंपल। एक तो लोग ढीठ हैं, अगर उनको सच दिखा भी दिया जाए तभी भी वो पैटर्न नहीं तोड़ेंगे, क्योंकि सिटी लाइफ आपको सेंस देती ही नहीं है। जब तक
Yeah.
आप सिटी में रहते हुए नेचर से कनेक्ट कर ले तो बहुत अच्छा है, क्योंकि
Hmm.
नेचर मतलब क्या? 5 एलिमेंट्स। अब
Hmm.
जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल अक्षय, आप जहाँ बैठे हैं 5 एलिमेंट्स तो वहां भी है। वहां पे भी मुझे सूर्य की किरणें दिखाई दे रही हैं। आप हवा में है, आपके पास जमीन है, एयर, यू हैव अर्थ, यू हैव वाटर, यू हैव सन, यू हैव स्पेस। तो आप जहां भी बैठे हैं, ऑल यू नीड टू डू इज कनेक्ट दीज पंच महाभूत विच आर देयर इनसाइड योर बॉडी to the Panch Mahabhut with outside, and that is what brings sense. तो लोगों में
Right.
सेंस नहीं है, किताबें पढ़ के सेंस नहीं आती,
Right.
इतना मुझे समझ आ गया है। और ट्रेनिंग अटेंड करके सेंस नहीं आती, क्योंकि अगर आनी होती तो मुझे आ गई होती 2020 तक। मुझे नहीं
course.
आई,
Of course.
मुझे सेंस नहीं आई।
Yeah.
सेंस आने का मतलब क्या है? पहला पैरामीटर सेंस आने का क्या है? डिजीज फ्री बॉडी।
Hmm.
The first sense, the first parameter of sense is disease free body, discomfort free body. आपको डिजीज है, आंसर इज यस। आपको डिस्कम्फर्ट है, आंसर इज यस। सॉरी, यू नॉट इन योर सेंसेस, यू
Hmm.
फुलिंग पीपल। सॉरी।
Hmm.
क्यों क्यों हम कहते हैं बॉडी?
Mm-hmm.
क्योंकि बॉडी इज द फर्स्ट एलिमेंट एंड देन इज द माइंड। फेकली तो आप खेल के जाओ माइंड में, जितनी मर्जी, जितना आपको खेलना खेलते जाओ माइंड में। मेंटली तो आप
Naturally.
पूरा का पूरा यहाँ पे कुछ भी क्रिएट कर लो, बट रियल रियल टाइम में वो नहीं हो रहा है। तो लोगों को ये देखना पड़ेगा कि सेंस कहाँ से आती है। सेंस नेचर से आती है, सेंस डिसिप्लिन करने से आती है। जब अंदर अच्छे से, जब अंदर का पूरा सिस्टम ठीक काम कर रहा होता है, जब आपका सन और मून जो अंदर है, जो बाहर सन एंड मून है, वो भी वही अंदर है। वी कॉल इट अ बायोलॉजिकल क्लॉक। सन एंड मून का जब अंदर बैलेंस होता है, अपने आप सेंस आती है। अपने आप जब खाने को देखते हो, आपकी सेंस बोलती है ये खाना है, ये खाना नहीं है।
Mm-hmm.
बिस्किट खाना नहीं है, सेंस क्या बोल रही है? बर्गर खाना नहीं है, पिज्जा खाना नहीं है। सेंस बोल रही है, सेंस रिजेक्ट कर रही है। सेंस ने रिजेक्ट कर दिया। सेंस क्या मांग रही है आज? सेंस कह रही कि फ्रेश दाल चावल खाते हैं।
Mm-hmm.
सेंस कह रही रोटी सब्जी खाते हैं। सेंस कह रही खिचड़ी खाते हैं। तो वो सेंस कैसे डेवलप होगा? वो सेंस तब डेवलप होगा जब आप डिसिप्लिन करेंगे, बॉडी को डिजीज और डिसऑर्डर फ्री करेंगे,
And
तब
we are
जाके माइंड भी डिसऑर्डर फ्री होता है। पहले बॉडी फिर माइंड। हायरार्की इज बॉडी एंड माइंड, नॉट माइंड एंड बॉडी।
yeah.
जो कि पूरी दुनिया में आज की डेट में लोगों को माइंड बॉडी पता है, तो
Mhm.
बॉडी माइंड। और
Very true.
उसका बड़ा सिंपल एग्जांपल मैं आपको देती हूँ। जैसे कि मान लीजिए, अब आपको अपने जहां बैठे आपको एसी ऑन करना है, तो आप क्या करेंगे?
To switch on the whatever I have, the switch for that AC.
व्हाई वुड यू स्विच इट ऑन फ्रॉम द स्विच? अगर मैं बोलूँ कि मैं आपका स्विच बोर्ड हटा रही हूँ
Mm.
और मैं ना बॉक्स का जो पीछे बॉक्स लगा होता है उसको खोल रही हूँ, आप एक काम करो ना अक्षय, वायर्स को इधर उधर करके एसी ऑन कर लो,
Mm.
तो आप मुझे क्या कहेंगे?
Possible, but yeah, not impossible.
इट इज कॉम्प्लेक्स,
Yeah, it's
बट इट इज
complex.
कॉम्प्लेक्स, नॉट इम्पॉसिबल बट इट
Not
इज कॉम्प्लेक्स।
Yeah.
तो आप क्या कहेंगे? यहाँ स्विच बोर्ड है ना, स्विच से ऑन करो। तो स्विच बोर्ड इज लाइक योर बॉडी।
Yeah.
माइंड इज नॉट इन योर हैंड्स,
Mm-hmm.
mind is not in your hand, but switchboard is like your body. So when you access your mind through body, you are playing safe.
Hmm.
But if you're accessing your mind complex mental area without working on your body, then it is very dangerous। short circuits होते हैं लोगों को। मैं ही बहुत सारे साइकोलॉजिस्ट को जानती हूँ जो अभी डिप्रेशन में है। तो मुझे, माय क्वेश्चन इज,
Mm.
If you have been a psychologist for the last 20 years and you have worked on people's mental health problems,
Mhm.
why are you not able to apply it for your own self? My question is that.
True.
Why are you taking depression pills?
Mhm.
Or for that matter, anybody who's into curing people, even for that matter, any doctor. आज आप एक डॉक्टर के पास जाए और आपको पता चले आप लेट से आप अपना पीठ का इलाज कराने जा रहे हैं, आपको पता चले डॉक्टर खुद बैक से
बैंड लगा
परेशान
के
है। हाँ, तो आप उसको कितना वो ट्रस्टवर्दी मानेंगे? आप कितना उसका वो ऑथेंटिसिटी आई ना, क्रेडिबिलिटी आई ना नहीं? फिर पहले खुद का इलाज करके दिखाएँ।
Yeah, there was a teacher in our neighborhood, and he was facing hair loss. And there was a very good doctor at that point, and it's very old story. He used to tell us to give the idea of faith and belief, leading by example or something. So he went to the doctor. It's an allopathic doctor that my hair are falling, and can you do something? And he used to wear a hat. The doctor used to wear a hat, and he was sitting in his cabin. Of course, India is a hot country. So when he came in the cabin and he removed his hat and kept it on the table, the teacher, our neighborhood teacher, he saw that the doctor himself is bald. So he is immediately jumped out of the chair and he was, "Oh, you are also bald." And to whom I have come to for my hair fall sickness. I don't know, no, it was before the studying and I did not know at that time. Sorry, I cannot go with your treatment now anymore. My belief is gone. My faith is gone from you. So of course, yeah. If you
एग्ज़ैक्टली। अब
are,
आप इसको मार्केटिंग बोल सकते हैं,
Mhm.
मतलब मार्केटिंग ट्रिक्स ही है ना।
Mhm.
तो ऑब्वियसली क्रेडिबिलिटी बड़ी बड़ी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है अक्षय। Only if somebody has been able to find a path for himself. It's like a I'll give you an analogy. एक analogy देती हूँ, एग्जांपल देती हूँ, लोटस का एग्जांपल देती हूँ।
Mhm.
लोटस कहाँ खिलता है?
तालाब में कीचड़ में
गलत जवाब।
Mhm.
लोटस
Okay.
कीचड़ में उगता है, लेकिन वो खिलता कीचड़ से ऊपर है।
ऊपर ओके ट्रू
तो कोई भी जो इंसान कीचड़ में रहते हुए भी अपने आप को ऊपर उठा के खिला चुका है,
हम्म
वो लोटस है।
हम्म ओके
वो लोटस है। तो मैं उसकी बात मानूंगी, ना कि जो अभी भी कीचड़ में ही है,
हम्म
दलदल ही बना हुआ है,
हम्म
ऊपर होके नहीं खिला है, जो खिलने की कैपेसिटी भी नहीं है, लेकिन वो दूसरों को एग्जाम्पल दे रहा है।
हम्म
सो माना कि आप ठीक है, आप किसी कीचड़ वर्ल्ड में ही पैदा हुए हैं,
ट्रू
लेकिन आप क्या अपने आप को रेज करके खिलाए? अगर आपने खिला लिया है, तो आप दूसरों को खिला पाएंगे। दूसरों को भी आप उतना ही राइस दे पाएंगे। नहीं तो यू आर ओनली फूलिंग पीपल एट अ मास लेवल, विच इज़ वेरी ईज़ी टुडे।
ट्रू
मतलब आज की डेट में, जैसे कि मैं एग्जांपल देती हूँ, आई केम अक्रॉस अ न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट। तो उन्होंने मुझे क्योंकि हमारा तो न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट के साथ थोड़ा-सा चलता है ना कि
Right.
जैसे कि आज आजकल मिलेट्स की बात करते हैं, मतलब खाने के जितने भी डूज़ एंड डोंट्स हैं, वो एक्चुअली ट्रेडिशनली बिल्कुल हमसे ऑपोज़िट है। तो हम किसी न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट की कोई वीडियो देखते हैं तो हमें हँसी आ जाती है। सो आई जस्ट रिसेंटली मेट अ न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट। सो आई आस्क्ड हर, आई सेड, "सो हाउ डू यू अप्लाई इट ऑन योरसेल्फ?" एंड आई फाउंड हर वेरी स्किनी। सो बातों-बातों में पता चला दैट शी इज़ स्ट्रगलिंग टू कंसीव फॉर द लास्ट 10 इयर्स। अब बताइए कैसी न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट है
राइट
जो खुद 10 साल में कंसीव नहीं कर पाई हैं, वो दूसरों को एडवाइस, एंड पीपल आर गोइंग टू हर। मतलब हाउ क्रेजी। वही मैंने बोला ना कि लोगों में सेंस नहीं है किसको फॉलो करना है। आप उसको फॉलो कर रहे हैं जो अपनी इश्यूज नहीं रिजॉल्व कर पा रहे हैं, आप उसको फॉलो कर रहे हैं। तो आपकी अपनी हेल्थ खराब है और आप दूसरों को एडवाइस कर रहे हैं। आपको अगर एक साइकोलॉजिस्ट खुद डिप्रेशन में है या खुद कोई क्रॉनिक एलिमेंट है, तो वो या कोई भी काउंसलर, एनी कोच, एनी टीचर, एनीबॉडी इन एनी एस्पेक्ट, अगर आप खुद
person is
क्रॉनिकली
guiding in
अगर
any
ill हैं,
aspect
अगर आप क्रॉनिकली इन हैं, आप उस पोजीशन में है ही नहीं कि आप किसी को एडवाइस दें। आप नहीं एडवाइस दीजिए, आप सच्चे रहिए।
Hmm.
एक्सेप्ट दैट यू हैव नॉट बीन एबल टू मैनेज इट फॉर योरसेल्फ, सो यू कैन नॉट डू इट फॉर द अदर्स आल्सो। एंड 2020 वाज अ रियलाइजेशन ऑफ दैट ईयर फॉर मी, कि मैं दूसरों को तो क्या ही दूँगी, अगर मेरा खुद का आई एम इन सच इम्पोवरिश्ड स्टेट ऑफ माइंड टू टेक।
Okay. So before I move to the last leg of the podcast, I have one more question which people might have, that if you're living in farm, if you're not living in city, and your kids are going to Gurukul, not a traditional school, what future do they hold? What are they being trained for? I can say, because yeah, of course, these schools train us for something. So what are they being prepared for? I think that's a better word. In the future, what do they see Where do they see themselves? So this question might be there for in many people's mind who are having kids.
So many ways to answer it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you each perspective one by one.
Sure.
So the Vedic teaching, firstly, the Vedic lifestyle makes you very real time. रियल टाइम मतलब कि आप बहुत रियल टाइम जी रहे हैं क्योंकि आपको जितने भी स्क्रिप्चर्स है जितने भी आपने पढ़ाई कर ली उसने ये बोला कि वैसे भी लैंड इम्परमानेंट है आप बिल्कुल नहीं कह सकते कल को क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा टुडे व्हाट इज द रिक्वायरमेंट टुडे टू वर्क ऑन योर बॉडी टू वर्क ऑन योर माइंड to get educated, but do not go for fake education, go for the right education, not the fake education, the real education, which is coming from scriptures. So scripturally, जो ideally होना चाहिए वो सब बच्चे फॉलो करते हैं. So बच्चाs are working on their body, they're working on their behavior, they're working on their mind, they're extremely stable. And Akshay, it is no exaggeration if I were to tell, but today the level that my children hold in terms of education, it is at par with anybody who's studying in school and college. I'll tell you why. Those children who study, मैं अपने ही बच्चों का एग्जाम्पल लेती हूँ. जब स्कूल में होते हैं आपके 8 से 10 घंटे स्कूल में जाते हैं and you become very stressed. You come back, you go for tuition. So if you see, the education system keeps you very busy. It keeps you tied up. You don't have time to think at all. In Gurukul, you're taught a subject and then you go made to create. You're made to synthesize. So उस तरीके से अगर आप देखें तो बच्चाs have a lot of time to think freely. They are made to think freely, create something freely. So as far as the education is concerned, they are definitely at par or maybe above. Now, as far as the future is concerned, so the future is not for all. If you see the word future, iska first half mein few.
Okay.
It is only for a few. So the way the world is living today, I am sure my children are going to be a guiding light in the times ahead.
That's true because I can also see the time is changing, and I think time to go back to the basics is here. It's here. Now, it might take 5 years or 10 years, but it's gonna happen, or maybe 15, 20 years, it's gonna happen. I can see that. Time is taking its turn. But let's say that people who are not able to see this. So let's say tomorrow, I don't want them to apply for a job because the way they are being taught and they are being raised, they are built for something different. But let's say that for argument's sake or for the curiosity's sake, not everybody is going to be entrepreneur. So tomorrow, if they apply for a job, will they have degrees or certificates, or how is it going to be?
So let me ask you, why do you work? Let me ask you first, Akshay, why do you work?
To earn
Let us try to find out the answer very organically.
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
to give you a rushed answer.
Yeah,
Let
of
us
course,
find
of course.
why do you work?
Absolutely. So to earn a living, to be able to afford to live in a place, to live a good lifestyle. By good lifestyle, I might say that I wear good clothes and live in a good neighborhood, eat well, and go out and travel the world. Simple.
Excellent. So one is eat good food, have a good lifestyle, wear good clothes, and travel.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
What if I tell you my children are already doing it?
Of course, yeah.
So their food comes from nature.
Their own farm.
Nature doesn't ask you money. Nature is our real mother. Our mother feeds us her milk only for 1 year, 2 years, but Mother Nature feeds us for years. So you have Mother Nature. Every year when we plant seeds, she doesn't ask for money. So she's giving me food. Because I'm in nature, my sense is developing. So I know what to wear. So I don't go by the brands. Now the brands don't run me. I run my own life. I know what to wear. I will probably not look at the brand and choose clothes. So I have that freedom with the sense that, okay, this is what I need to choose. This is something I don't choose. So food is taken care of. Clothes are taken care of. As far as the lifestyle is concerned, you live in a natural shelter. Your basics are being taken care of because you are in nature. The food doesn't come from groceries, but you grow your own food, which means it gives you a guarantee that tomorrow if a lockdown happens, people in the city may not get food, but you, since you live on a farmland, you will get food for sure.
Your supply chain
You
is
will have plenty of supply.
Yeah.
Fourth is travel. Travel is an integral part of Vedic lifestyle. We travel every month to different across India and outside India, and we connect with different types of nature. Without travel, you cannot live a Vedic lifestyle.
Okay.
So, for example, my daughter has just come back from Shahpur, Mumbai, and before that, I went to Sikkim. Before that, she went to Jaipur. Before that, she went to Nepal. So, we travel across India because every month there is a travel plan for 10 to 12 days because you go and connect with the nature there.
Hmm.
And also, just to answer your question, what is the goal? The goal and the purpose, the end is very important.
Hmm.
The goal of human life, the way it has been given to us, is not what it is in reality. So if you open the scriptures, the goal is to work on yourself and evolve.
Yeah.
To break the matrix. The goal of this reality is not to become a part of the matrix,
Hmm.
but to break the matrix.
Yeah.
99% of the people on this reality are there just to be a part of the matrix. Only 1% are there who are real players who will break the matrix. So you need to decide which path you want to choose because जो भी बहुता में है 1% है. 99%
them.
just no. हाँ जी?
We don't see them often. So लगता
They
वही है
want to
that right.
बहुता जो बहुता में वही दिखेगा ना तो
Right.
99% बच्चे जो स्कूल में जा रहे हैं
हम्म।
हमें वो दिख रहे हैं बट उनका फ्यूचर क्या क्या गारंटी है गारंटी कौन ले रहा
There is no
है कोई
guarantee.
ले रहा है
Yeah.
कोई भी नहीं ले रहा है
हम्म।
आप मुझे बताइए आप अच्छे से अच्छे कॉलेज में आप पढ़ाई करके निकले
हम्म।
क्या वो गारंटी लेता है कि आपको इतने का पैकेज
There's
में
no
जॉब मिलेगा
guarantee. And on the contrary, I would say the way education system is designed is kind of screwed because for years it teaches us that you sit down in a particular place, listen to the authorities. So the current education system, I'm not in favor of that, of course. But I'm asking for the sake of people who are not able to come out of this mindset that if I'm not sending my kids to school, they don't have a future.
बहुत अच्छा and this is for you and other people who would be listening in
Yeah.
I would want you to find out for yourself do not go by what I'm saying
Hmm.
go find out how Indian education system was built it
Hmm.
was built by Lord Macaulay that is in the 1800th century
Hmm.
and the education system the Vedic Gurukul were stopped were made to vanish and education system was brought for factory workers initially when the education system started it was started only for factory workers and that's exactly what it is churning out even today
Yes.
it is only churning out factory workers so what has happened is somebody has taken your kal dhan
Hmm.
आपका टाइम इतना प्रेशियस टाइम लेके आपको पेपर पकड़ा दिया गया इन टर्म्स ऑफ मनी
Yeah.
एवरीथिंग इज अबाउट पेपर अक्षय सर्टिफिकेशन इज पेपर money is paper that is not dhan is not paper any country at its free will can go on printing those papers and become rich that is not the real dhan is your body the real dhan is the sense the real dhan is nature mother nature
True.
and she doesn't ask for this paper money
Yeah. Yes.
and connecting with the real dhan is more important to be able to earn real dhan so पहले तो आपको इधर आप कौन से धन की बात कर रहे हैं आप कौन से पैसे की बात कर मनी की बात कर रहे हैं वो मनी या जो असली मनी हमें दिया हमारा सोम सोम हमारा असली धन है हमारा काल धन हमारा असली धन है हमारा ज्ञान धन हमारा असली धन है जो कि आज के डेट में मैनिश हो गया और क्या बचा है फेक धन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ मनी पेपर मनी वो भी पेपर मनी
Hmm. Yeah.
सो दैट्स इज व्हाट पीपल आर अर्निंग फॉर और इतना बिजी इसलिए कर दिया गया बच्चों को ताकि कोई इस चीज से दिमाग अब आप ये देखिए ना एक टिपिकल लाइफस्टाइल में सिटी में क्या होता है अ मैन doesn't have any time but he's only running post to pillar to earn the bread for the family cater to the school education fees आज आप किसी भी फैमिली मेंबर को या पेरेंट्स को या एनीबडी who's between the age of 25 to 35 आप उनका लाइफस्टाइल आज की डेट में देखिए बॉडी खराब
Hmm.
मेंटल डिसऑर्डर्स
Hmm.
स्ट्रेसफुल लाइफस्टाइल
True.
सो अगर आप भी उसी ग्राइंड से जा रहे हैं व्हाई वुड यू वांट योर चिल्ड्रन टू गो थ्रू द सेम ग्राइंड द ग्राइंड आई वेंट
Exactly.
थ्रू व्हाई वुड आई एट ऑल वांट माय डॉटर और सन टू गो थ्रू द ग्राइंड आई वुड चेंज इट फॉर देम आई वुड लाइक ओके ब्रेक द ग्राइंड
Of course.
हमने तो ये कर लिया मतलब हमने तो ये कर लिया क्योंकि हमें अक्ल नहीं थी तो जॉब क्यों करी अक्ल नहीं थी शादी क्यों करी अक्ल नहीं थी बच्चे क्यों करे अक्ल नहीं थी तुम अपनी सेंस से चलो करना है कि नहीं करना है एंड बी वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट आज अगर सिटी में रह के मुझे ये बताइए अक्षय, अगर कोई शादी नहीं भी करा तो भी क्या फायदा?
हम्म,
मतलब आपने कौन सा इतना महान काम कर दिया? आप गलत प्रैक्टिसेस में जाकर अपना दिमाग और खराब कर कर, अपने आप को और स्ट्रेस कर कर शादी नहीं करने का क्या मतलब? या तो एक गोल हो ना कि शादी मुझे इसलिए नहीं करना बिकॉज आई वांट टू डिसिप्लिन, आई वांट टू बी
right.
फोकस्ड, आई वांट टू लिव अ वेरी वैदिक लाइफस्टाइल, आई वांट टू वर्क ऑन माय रियल दैन। वैसा तो कुछ है नहीं, पीपल आर डूइंग वर्स्ट।
Yeah,
So if you're taking a certain decision not to live a typical lifestyle, there has to be more reasoning to it.
true.
You don't want to do it just because you feel you don't want to do it. It's again a very fake way of living. You've got to have some substance. So I'm working on that base for them, that
Mm.
substance for them. But there's a different reason why they're not doing it.
Okay.
So that substance is very important.
All right. I think we have a lot of topics and we can deep dive on many of them. And it will be a very, very long conversation. So I'll save it for some other episodes. For now, I think we are at the last leg of this episode. And I would like to ask this that people who want to simplify their lifestyle, as I said earlier, who are living in the city and maybe looking for the alternative, but they are not able to come out of the city because of so many things, what they can do, what few simple steps that they can take that will help them.
Excellent question, Akshay. So I'm going to simplify it and keep it very simple.
Mm-hmm,
As I said, the nature consists of 5 elements.
mm-hmm,
For now, I'm only giving you what is it that one can do on the first 3 levels. So 5 elements हैं, हम पांचों की बात नहीं. Second is water.
mm,
Third is sun.
mm,
How do you work? All you need to do is take out some time to connect with the earth element
mm,
by walking bare feet on soil or ground.
mm.
Not the tiled surface of your house, but outside in nature. Just take out 10 to 15 minutes every day to walk bare feet on the ground. So your connection with the earth element begins to build up.
Mm.
That's number one. Number two, when you have water, just bow to the water and have it.
Oh.
You're building connection with water because in our scripture, Jal is called Jal Dev.
Hmm.
It's a deity. Jal is a deity.
Yes.
अब हमने क्या कर दिया, पानी कहीं भी पी लिया, कैसे भी पी लिया, गट 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 करके पी लिया, पानी में छप छप कर लिया, पानी को डिसरिस्पेक्ट कर लिया. पानी को आप डिसरिस्पेक्ट नहीं कर सकते हो बिकॉज वही पानी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ 5 फ्लूइड्स आपके अंदर है. व्हाट आर दोस 5 फ्लूइड्स स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम सलाइवा टू ब्लड टू CSF
Hmm.
टू योर सीमन. ऑल दीज आर ब्लड 5 फ्लूइड्स जो आपके अंदर बॉडी में जो है वो पूरे के पूरे यही यही पानी अंदर जाके वही खाना फ्लूइड्स बन रहे हैं. तो आप जब बाहर के फ्लूइड को जब आप रिस्पेक्ट देंगे, आप अपने अंदर के फ्लूइड्स को भी, वाटर एलिमेंट को रिस्पेक्ट कर रहे हैं. दैट्स नंबर टू. ऑल यू नीड टू डू इज जस्ट बाउ टू योर वाटर एंड जस्ट हैव दैट वर्क. दैट्स ऑल. पानी का रिस्पेक्ट आ गया. थर्ड इज सन.
Hmm.
इंस्टेड ऑफ डूइंग अ कॉम्प्लेक्स योगासन जिससे कुछ नहीं होगा
Hmm.
in the form of Surya Namaskar, all you do is the moment you get up, go out, look for the sun and bow to the sun. I bow to sun. That's all. This is how you connect with the sun element. So start doing these 3 basic things. Number one, walk bare feet for 10 to 15 minutes every day on the ground or the soil. That's number one. Number two, whenever you're drinking water, bow to the water and then drink it. Give it the reverence that it deserves as a deity because it's Jaldev. That's number two. Number three, in a day, morning and evening, at least twice a day, bow to the sun, the rising sun and the setting sun. If you're not able to do the rising sun, whatever time of the day you can, even if it is at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock,
Yeah.
it's all right when the sun is at its zenith or whatever point. Just go bow to the sun at least twice a day. Just bow, say nothing. Just say, I bow to you. That's all. And anybody who's doing it over a period of 1 week, 10 days, 15 days will see a difference.
Mhm. Okay, so I have few rapid fires. You don't need to think, you just have to answer whatever comes to your mind. So this is going to the end of this episode. So are you ready for the rapid fire?
Okay. Rapid fire. Okay.
Sure. First question is organic farming or guided meditation, which heals faster?
Organic farming, guided meditation. So it
No,
is
these are not
definitely
three options.
organic.
It's Farming or organic farming, I have kept it in one category, or guided meditation. Farming or guided meditation, what heals faster?
To tell you the truth, none.
None. Okay.
I'll tell you why. If that was so, okay, so let us look at it, Akshay. Let's not call it a rapid fire because
Mhm.
fast and furious is the negative way. It's the demon's way.
Sure.
Devata, divine nature, works at its own pace. So let's say if a mango tree takes 5 years, it will take 5 years. No matter what you do in the world, it will give you fruit only after 5 years. So nature has its own way of giving you fruits and flowers. Likewise, human beings need to learn that from nature. So meditation is not going to help. Farming is not going to help. And if it did, why would farmers have diseases? I live in a village and I know how much farmers suffer because they do farming, but they have no connection with nature. Meditators meditate, but they have no connection with their own sense, with their own spine. So, first, what helps is the connection. You got to build connection with nature. Only then your own nature gives you good health. So, none of this will help if there is no connection.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. The next one is one word for how corporate India treats employee wellness.
There is nothing called employee wellness when it comes to corporates.
That,
There is nothing like.
that's true. It's all about profit. All right. And one word for the overall situation of people who are living in the city and doing a job 9 to 5.
What is the question? What do I need to do?
One word, you need to summarize what is the situation of the people who are living.
Toxicity. Toxicity. Because city gives you toxic only.
Yeah.
Toxins,
So I
all
talked.
toxins.
Okay. Best as advice you have ever got that had nothing to do with wellness but changed everything.
Today, it is not possible for me not to talk about wellness.
All
It is
right.
not possible today. Even if you give me, no matter what motivation you give me, I would not even have the motivation to talk about anything else apart from health and mental wellness.
All right. Okay. This is a good one, I guess. One habit that you would make mandatory in every office in India.
Behave well.
Okay. And
Behavior and words matter a lot, Akshay. Just like body, behavior and words are the most important aspect of one's life, whether you're working or not working. What words you use and how you behave with others.
Okay. All right. The last one is the most dangerous wellness myth people still believe.
That body is not important, come directly to mind.
Mm.
All the mental work that happens, all the mental work that happens in the name of meditation, counseling, coaching, training, it's a
Mm.
sham.
Mm. True.
It's a myth,
True.
not possible. You'll only get short circuits and you will only get diseases. You got to first work on the body and then move to mind. And here today, the myth is forget about the body. We are not body. People say we are not body, we are Atma. मतलब ना बॉडी किया ना माइंड किया सीधा स्पिरिट पे पहुंच गए
Yeah.
कितना बड़ा मतलब बुद्धूपंती है किस लेवल का बुद्धूपंती है
Yeah. No, that's why Vedas says that we have 5 different bodies. It's not like body is separate and this is separate. We are separate. We are these different dimensions of bodies. Anyways, that's for some other separate episode. But there are things that we have not even touched upon. And you talk about what was the word that you used last time? New age fixes. That's a very good one. I would like to talk about many new age fixes because I see them on a daily basis, and people are obsessed with them, some of them, and people see that okay, they are getting benefit also from them, and that's a little funny to me. But for now, I think we'll wrap it up. It was a wonderful conversation, and we still have a lot of topics to discuss and discover and explore. So thank you so much for your time. It was a lovely conversation, lovely time that I had with you, conversating with you, and recording this episode. Thank you so much.
Same here, Akshay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Before you move on with your day, take a moment to reflect on this conversation because sometimes one small shift in awareness can completely change the way we experience life. Remember, the goal is not just to become successful, the goal is to become whole. Thank you for spending this time with me on Holistic Happiness Club. I'm your host Akshay Tiwari, and I will see you in the next one. Till that time, stay well and always remember happiness is a lifestyle.